Dom, have your ears been ringing today? Because there's a lot of people talking about you, and it's all good, though.
Oh, that's good.
Jody, and Jeremiah were talking about you, and they were just saying that this is your brainchild. And, wow, what an execution. 27 teams out here?
27 teams, right.
And waiting list, I was hearing.
Yes. So Keith Carter started this in 2013.
Keith Carter's my guy, by the way. I got to put that out there.
Yeah,
Shout out to Keith Carter.
Love Keith. Keith got this started.
I used to cover it when Keith ran it.
Yeah. So, I've been to every one. Obviously, we had a team in every one. And then they needed someone to host it, so I hosted it at Boardman for a couple years.
You're a Boardman guy, right?
I was the Boardman head coach, for 21 years. Right. And then what happened was it went to Ada. But when it went back to Ada at Ohio Northern, we were down to 8 teams. It just wasn't a good fit anymore. So I stepped in and said, hey, I'll take it over again. We could have it at Austintown. I coached with Coach Bird on the green machine. And Coach Bird was like, yeah, I'll help run it. And, so we've had it here for 4 years, and we've been growing it. That's what we were, hoping to do.
How do you grow an event? Like, I haven't done any media on it. I haven't seen a ton of media on it. How do you grow an event without a media following? It's kind of hard, right?
Reputation, because we run a good tournament. That's, I think, the key. The key is get the kids in, wrestle, keep the mats moving, and like everybody always has a good time coming to this tournament. So all the kids really like it. And I think the dual meet part of it is important to the kids too. They like this, be on a team, and it's different than your regular qualifier.
What do you think the biggest thing about, there's teams here, there's different varying levels, obviously. And also when I walked in today, I saw Gus Seiko and I saw John Heffernan. That changed things for me. I was like, okay, we're getting real now, right? It's hitting me then, right?
The biggest thing is, like, in what I always like when my kids were coming through is you get to wrestle state champs, state placers, they're going to be here. So, like, even if, I've had guys that, I had a guy who never made it to districts. He was up 7-0 on Dylan D'Amelio at this event once. He got tech, but still the fact that, you know what I mean? Like,
you're battling.
It gives kids opportunities to maybe do something that, he's never going to see him anywhere. And, but you get a chance, you get your shot. I think kids learn a lot.
I like how you ran it bracket style, not pool style. I got to give you some credit on that. I was confused. I thought it was pools, but it's brackets.
Yeah,
and brackets run into brackets.
And that's Coach Bird. He does that, and he's really good at that. He can make track wrestling dance. He's really good. He runs like a dozen tournaments here every year, so he knows what he's doing.
We could see Worcester versus Sechrist. That's a state final match at 120 today. We could see the only two freshman state champs might hit, in Gibbs and Weber. So we're going to have some marquee matches.
Oh, it's always. When it comes down to those last, when we get into the A pool, I mean, it gets really exciting. We've seen, I saw Jordan Decatur's here. I remember him and Drew Matten going at it, both state champs. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many potential high-level matches every year. It's interesting.
1918, an 8th grader knocks off 3-time state placer Mannix Waska Cam Battle from Cincinnati. Did you see that match?
Yeah.
Crazy. Throws him with 2 seconds left. Buzzer beater. How much fun is it, right?
That's what I mean. It's fun.
That's why we're here.
All right. Have fun.
Dom, you got anything else for me?
Nope. You do a great job, and I watch you on the internet all the time.
All right.
Thank you.
I was probably not as good in person.
No.
It's probably a little disappointing.
Yeah.
Letdown.
A little bit of a letdown. Yeah. I thought you were skinnier in person. So.
The camera adds 10 pounds, I thought.
Camera adds a little weight to you.
Don, thanks for the time. Good luck to you guys moving forward. Oh, festival.
Yes.
It's festival. You can't let that go. It's a festival next year.
So with building this up, one of the things was we have the girls coming up. We have Greco, duels. So, like, my idea was this. One of the things, I've been with USA Wrestling Ohio for a long time, and it seems like one of the biggest funding problems is always the duels team. Mike Matten runs most of
California Mike, as I like to call him.
California Mike, yeah. So they're always searching for money, and I'm like, well, hey, this is big enough now where we could turn this into a fundraiser. We have it in one weekend. We have the girls in Greco on Saturday, boys on Sunday. Blow it up, get sponsors, and try to raise about $12,000 for the national duels team. So that, like last year, they had to go out to Washington. They couldn't go.
Utah this year.
So see what I mean? Like, It's always an issue. So make the money, give it to the board, let the board decide which team needs it, and so we can make sure that those kids get that experience. I think that's the greatest experience that you can get, is being on those duels teams. It's just, you're interacting with other kids, you're learning from other kids, peer to peer. Sometimes kids do learn better that way than from coach to wrestlers. So it's a good experience.
You got to get all you can out of Mike Mann before he moves out to California and becomes like a West Coast liberal.
Yeah.
And then he won't be giving back as much.
He's done a lot.
He has done a lot, man. Great guy, man.
I don't think he needs to do any more, really, for what he's done.
I think he's paid his dues.
Yeah, he's paid his dues. He's
All
definitely
right.
paid his dues.
Dom, thanks for the time. Freestyle Greco Girls Wrestling Festival next year.
Next year.
We're going to find a location. We'll
Yep.
probably do some media on it as we announce the location.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.